Cortana, set a waypoint for TEChBrits. Hello and welcome to TEChBrits. If you're a gamer, especially an Xbox gamer, then you may have heard a little game came out this week called Halo 4. Now, some people go utterly crazy about this game, they start dressing up as the Master Chief, and they really start taking things a bit too far.
Oh no.
But anyway,
no.
it's it's a massive game, and it's expected to even outsell get this right. It was outselling something to do with Skyfall. I don't know whether it was the ticket sales or.
I would have thought so, because I don't think Skyfall's a game yet.
Yeah, no, it's not a game. But
in fact, I don't think Skyfall's going to be a game.
It probably will do eventually.
Because they've released a game called 007 Legends, which is a new James Bond game, which looks a lot like Call of Duty, which is kind of annoying.
True. Though most things are better than Call of Duty. Especially Halo. Because if you've been following my Twitter, I summed up in one tweet.
Well, I mean, if you followed us at Eurogamer, we did the Eurogamer video, you saw Ryan's thoughts and views there. We did get hands on at Eurogamer, and even for me, it was a pretty cool game. Yeah,
I mean, that was just the multiplayer portion. I mean, I've just been playing the campaign, and it's such a cinematic, just jaw-dropping experience. The graphics is like better than ever, but this not spend too much time on this topic.
Yes.
But let's move into what could be coming soon, and that's the Xbox Surface. So this is Microsoft's supposed
handheld Xbox, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think it's a great idea.
Ooh,
because they have the Microsoft Surface. Why don't they just make Xbox compatibility for the Surface instead of having two separate products?
Well, I mean, it might be because they want. I don't know, they want more of, two, you can have either the Surface for your tablet needs, or if you're a gamer, you can get the Xbox Surface. It's got the Xbox name in the title, it obviously attract more to gamers. But I don't know, it depends what the Xbox Surface is, I think. If it's essentially a Surface with Xbox compatibility, then I kind of see what's the point in having the two. But if it is something different, it'll have, the toggles and the controls. It kind of fits a different category, doesn't it?
Yeah, see, I mean, the whole point of this is that they're supposed to be having very gamer-targeted hardware in this, so it is supposed to be really powerful for games. That's what I was sort of hoping for with the Surface, is that with their sort of whole ecosystem that they're building at the moment, I would have hoped to see Xbox games now on the Surface tablet, Xbox games on your Windows phone, and of course Xbox games on your Xbox. Yeah, no, but the problem I think with that is the same problem that I don't see. I understand their whole three screen metaphor, and I saw it very well at the Nokia event, at the Microsoft Surface event. The Windows Phone 8 event. You see what I got confused with the three different things. No, I get the three screen metaphor, but I don't think it's going to work for everything. So you can't, as much as you'd like to play Halo 4 on your Surface or on your phone, it's not going to be the same experience, because if people say it with just the iPad and and the iPhone, it's different to play games with physical buttons than it is to play games on a touch. That's again the point of the Surface, that you can attach a keyboard and mouse and turn it into like a desktop, and that's the same with the Surface at the moment. You can attach the wired Xbox control to the Surface as it is now to play games just as if you were on an Xbox. But what I'm saying is you couldn't take it to the phone. Trying to play will be a bit more, but then of course you've then got Xbox Live Arcade, which is a smaller. It's a smaller thing, but it is also different, and not everything can run on it. Like Halo 4, massive flagship title. You're not going to see Halo 4 in the Xbox Arcade. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, sort of thing. I mean, I think that small little Xbox Live kind of arcade games would be great. Oh, it works perfectly on the phone. For phone, they've demonstrated that. Exactly. I mean, I think you can get sort of better games then on a tablet, which would work well if you attach then the Xbox control like you can now. Yeah. But of course, I think for your main hardcore gamers, they're going to want to keep the Xbox, and I'm sure that's what Microsoft are going to want to keep pushing. So I don't know whether the gaming Surface will be a higher spec in terms of graphically, power, and all that sort of thing specifically for Xbox gamers. It's a weird thing.
We'll find out if you know, it is currently in the works. So we'll find out when they do say more about that.
Right, so let's talk about our first product review. Now, I'm going to grab this. And this, my friends, is called the ApplifiEAR. Now, that isn't just me mispronouncing something, it's actually called the ApplifiEAR. Now you'll see why. So yeah, this is the ApplifiEAR, and I'm just going to demonstrate exactly how much this actually amplifies the audio. So we're going to use an artist that both of us are great friends with and think is a fantastic artist. That's Robert Gillies, and we're actually allowed to use his music, so don't worry. So if we just play his song just here, this is One of Those Days. So yeah, I hope you can see how much that actually boosts the volume, and because that's one of the problems with the iPad is, well, and of course most tablets, that speaker is on the back and direct in backwards. So this just helps push this forward, and this was a Kickstarter project as well. So that's another thing with the power of Kickstarter. If you've been following the news for the last couple of weeks, you might know that Scott Forstall has been kicked out of Apple. Yeah, truly booted out. Now, there are several rumours about why that might be. It seems like the main consensus is because he refused to sign the Maps apology.
So Maps, as everyone knows, is not the greatest product in the world.
Oh, God, that's a bit lost around London, didn't it?
Yeah. It got me lost around Bristol, but that's a different story. But no, Maps is not the greatest product in the world. Apple have admitted that. Tim Cook, wrote an apology letter and put it front and centre on the Apple website.
Yep.
And I think everyone can agree that it is very un-Apple-like to admit such a massive, flaw.
I have respect for him to do
hats off to them. Scott Forstall refused to sign this letter because he said something like, "Why don't we treat it just like AntennaGate?"
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Now, I'm kind of glad he's gone.
I am, to be honest.
But the main reason I'm glad he's gone is because Ive is now in charge of everything, essentially.
Yeah.
Hardware, software. Well, he's not going to be making the software. He's not a software engineer. But he's the heart of design at Apple. And if he can make something that looks as gorgeous as the new iMac or, the iPhone 5, just looks-wise, if he can make that software-wise as well, wow, we're going to be seeing some changes. Yeah,
that's it. Now, I mean, Scott Forstall was apparently had one of the closest bonds to Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
and I
he
think
came with him from Next.
Yeah, and I think that might be the best thing for him now going, to bring a new era for Apple in, to truly sort of, it sounds harsh, but get rid of Steve's legacy and do exactly what he said, to run things how Tim wants now, not to think of how Steve would have.
Yeah, I think that is a little unfair to say, considering Ive's been with the company, 10 years? Tim Cook's been with Steve, sort of Steve's left-hand man for at least, while he was ill and stuff.
I'm talking more on the software side of things. Because that's what I want to talk about, is been everywhere. Of course, Scott was very much into the skeuomorphism.
Please explain what this is.
Which is exactly what Steve Jobs was as well. And that's taking objects and making the UI look like that object. So
that's why, it explains the wood, the linen, and everything like that.
All that sort of thing.
That's where I heard the word from. I recognised the word, I just couldn't think about what it meant.
Yeah, it's been everywhere. So again, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I try to avoid what's going on everywhere else. But part of iOS's design at the moment was even taken out of Steve Jobs' private jet, like his seat or something in there, like the lever.
Okay.
And then put into the UI, which most people have tended to hate.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that now Ive will come in and add a bit of minimalistic sort of design again.
I think we're going to be seeing some exciting stuff, and it's actually why I'm kind of looking... don't want to say looking forward to what Apple have to show, because I'm always looking forward to what everyone has to show, but I'm looking forward... I'm now sort of holding back again. I was pretty almost desperate to get a new phone. I was desperate to upgrade everything. But I'm going to hold back to see what they've got in store before I make any rash decisions.
Well, the way I see it is that I'm in desperate need of an upgrade now. So, like, I'm looking forward to what they are going to bring out next, but it's going to be about a year off yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, iOS 7 ain't going to be coming, like, in a couple of months.
Oh, of course not.
So, I'm probably going to get a new phone now, switch to OSs, see how I get on, and then hopefully go back
Yeah, like
again.
I said when we were in London, actually, which was, you would, in terms of your life, just generally what you work with, your Xbox, your Windows 8, laptop, a Windows 8 phone would fit the bucket perfectly.
Yeah.
And it'd be almost a no-brainer to get one.
Yeah. I'm so torn between the 920 and the X now. It's driving me nuts.
Here's an idea.
Oh,
flip a coin.
Oh, I don't know if I can rely that kind of decision on it. Because
The
I
thing
actually
is-
quite like the size of the 920 in a weird way because it's so different. Like, I read a quote the other day that the 920 is for the people who really don't care. They want to stand out and be like, I got a big phone, and what? And it's yellow. It's bright yellow. It's like it's got a unique. It's a bit of a hipster kind of
But
device.
then everyone's going to be wanting to be a hipster.
Yeah, but then it is the heaviness of it. The heaviness is putting me off a little bit. Like, I don't mind the thickness, but again, I was reading articles. I don't want to keep quoting on articles, but they were saying how usually when you have your phone in your pocket, you can usually forget about it.
Mhm.
Like, it usually...
You would not forget
But
about
you're
it.
not going to forget about the 920. It's going to be constantly there on your phone, banging against your hip.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. The problem is you've got to make a decision quick, because if you're not careful, you'll still be making a decision and the next one will be out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this EE exclusivity here in the UK with the 920 is
Shouldn't that
driving
just
me nuts as well.
make your decision easier?
Yeah, pretty much. You've pretty much decided now on the EX. But,
Right, let's move on.
yeah. Right, so assistants at the moment, virtual assistants for devices are a big thing at the moment. And I want to show you the latest one for Android.
Okay.
Now, this is called Maluuba.
Ooh,
I think I
funky name.
pronounced that. Pronounced? No, I can't even pronounce things
Maluuba.
right now.
Yeah, it looks like Maluuba.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can probably see why I like this. It's a very metro-y kind of squarish interface. So let's just ask this a common question. What's the weather like this week? See it just pop up along the bottom there, and it processes it. Now, they're adding to this all the time. You can search for local restaurants, and in the US you can obviously book tables through OpenTable. Where's the nearest Pizza Hut? You know, I have the whole results. You just click on and instantly see all their Facebook, Twitter, and all their contact details, as well as reviews from Yelp. So let's just try set reminder, get milk. There we go, you can set a reminder.
So it's very Siri-like, isn't it? In
Yeah.
terms of what it can do.
Exactly, you can search for movies. Again, these are all the things you can do here. Music as well. In fact, I haven't actually tried music yet, so let's try this. Taking a risk here. Play music by Kings of Leon.
Oh, opens Chrome.
Yeah, don't know. Oh, it's
Oh.
doing a YouTube search.
It's not bad.
No, I was going to say, I suppose that's the default.
Play music by us.
Exactly. But yeah, it's very nice.
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's very nice.
It actually reminds me slightly of... Actually, Google recently updated their search app to include better voice integration.
Yeah.
And let me just demonstrate it for you. Which is basically...
Fantastic.
It's amazing. I'm going to turn airplane mode off.
It's so fast. That's the great
no,
thing.
that when I saw how fast it was, I just kind of went, what?
I also read about the technology which makes it so accurate as well. And it's because of they take terms that everyone are saying and find out what's most popular next in the sentence. So, like, if you were to say New York, for example, then like the most likely thing you'd say after that is like New York pizza.
Or New York, yeah.
But like then it won't. but then it even helps prevent like word plays on things. So like it will exactly say pizza instead of like Pisa, for example, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
Like so it will like that's how you get all the
really accurate things. So
yeah.
so let's pick a TV show you've been watching recently. What have you been watching recently? You're a
It's
big
Always
fan.
Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This is one that really impressed me the other day because I tried this the other day and I didn't expect the response.
Mm-hmm.
But just load that up. Hang on. I've lost it here. Do a voice search. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I found it, and then
I love how the words come up at the same time.
And then it should. It hasn't, but it should.
Oh,
No, that didn't work.
demo fail.
But demo fail, yeah. Let's try another one. How I Met Your Mother. Okay, it's being a little annoying. But basically, what it did to me the other day is I read out a TV show that I wanted to check out. And it tells me who... It literally spoke back to me and told me who it was written by, what network it aired on, what it was about. And it was just like... there.
And the thing is that the voice is so human-like as well.
Yeah.
On Google, it's
almost
becoming
scary.
very self-aware. Yeah,
It's
it
almost
is.
scary. Unfortunately, the voice thing is only available at the moment with if you set US as your voice, which actually could be why it's not working. No, I'm on US, which only sets US as your voice. So if you're in the UK or anything, or if you're in another country, it will automatically set you to your local country. But just change it to the US, and you'll be able to get it to talk back to you. You can ask it any sort of question as well. You can ask it how tall an actor is. You know, if they're married, you can ask it just general questions. I asked it the other day, how many Bond films have there been? Mm-hmm. And it didn't actually... It's really surprised me, this one, which is they took all the results on that page, and instead of showing me a page of results, it said, according to the pages below, 23.
Yeah.
So, like, skimmed...
So
it went through the pages that were in the results page, and Google's getting insane with their search. It really is.
I know, it's brilliant, and it's a great sign of things to come, I think. And Google are quite ballsy, the fact that they put those things on other platforms, because they're not saving their USPs for Android. But
I think it's weird because I don't think, as much as Android is obviously sort of their child when it comes to phones, it is, at the end of the day, their services are... They want to get out there. They want to be known in their service is known, and they give everyone everything. So they really want to just push everything, and I think that's why they obviously go cross-platform.
Yeah, they do. Bill, because I speak to so many people, and I speak to a lot of people with iPhones and that, and I show them all this sort of cool Android stuff, and they're like, yeah, but they've given that to me anyway.
Yeah.
What's the point of me switching?
Well, it's not exactly the same as Android. I mean, Google now does a similar thing, but Google now's got that little extra.
I was going to say, Google Now is awesome. Like, right now, I have a card on my screen that tells me how long it's going to take to get home with all the traffic.
which last week was about 2 minutes. So it wasn't exactly a massively long time.
Yeah, no.
So while you're looking at that, I want to talk about Gmail. Google's...
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Wow, 6 minutes?
Apparently so. Must be some... light traffic. Light traffic on Park Wall Road.
Oh, there you go. I want to talk about Google's other sort of baby, Gmail. Yeah. Now, so I think we'll agree with saying that Google Search, Gmail, Android are pretty much like their three... Oh, and YouTube, obviously.
Yeah.
4 top products.
Yeah.
You obviously got Google News and everything else, but those ones. And Gmail has recently had a small UI tweak, which is they've now got a sort of an external compose window, so it doesn't take you away from your inbox when you're making an email. And I think that's really nice. It's actually bringing... I think they've done that. Sorry, I'm switching my sentences every other word. I think they're bringing this so that it fits well with Chrome OS.
Yes.
Because obviously a lot of native apps on other platforms, like Outlook, who uses Outlook? The new Outlook. I was about to say the new Outlook.
Beautiful.
I was talking about the old Outlook.
Calm your horses. Yeah.
Sparrow, Mail, every time you compose an email, it opens up a new compose window, and I think that's what they're trying to obviously replicate on the Gmail side.
Yeah, that is it. I mean, Google are obviously very web-based. They're pushing a lot of web-based services, and yeah, exactly like you said. Yeah, it is mainly for Chrome OS, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yep. Now, Facebook are going towards single column timelines. So at the moment, it spreads across the, 2 columns. Whereas now they're pushing all your, everything that's been posted to your wall over to the left, I believe. And then everything on the right is all your check-ins, all your what you're listening to on Spotify, all that sort of thing.
Well, do you reckon that's a good move? Or do you reckon that's just going to get more people angry?
I do reckon it's a good move, actually.
I think it looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner.
Yeah, I do. Because sometimes I want to sort of see what people have been listening to, especially if I know that they've got like sort of the same taste as me. So like I discover music through their profile sometimes. And just being able to go on and having to just be able to see all that in the right-hand column and ignore all their personal posts on their left. I think that is a nice little touch.
Yeah, I think it's just because at the moment it's a bit messy. You know, you don't know what's going to be in which column. You know, sort of every other status on the other column or something like that. You don't know where it is. It's rolling out slowly to, I think, like hardly any people at the moment. But it's rolling out slowly to everyone else.
So fed up with Facebook. I cannot wait for this new MySpace. I just want to switch.
It's really interesting, actually. I showed people the new MySpace, and they actually went. I actually said, "Oh, have you heard about MySpace? Is going to have a relaunch?" And then, MySpace, who uses MySpace? I went, "Have a look at this video," and I showed them the video, and they just went, "I actually quite like that." So a lot of people, I reckon, a lot of people, going to be switching. I reckon. That's a TEChBrits prediction.
Yeah, we've already had one come right. That was the Skype prediction we made a few weeks back, saying how Microsoft will likely be retiring Windows Live Messenger, which was pretty much an obvious, but replacing it with Skype as their dual program, and that every other publication seems to have finally caught up. And it's been everywhere across all the big news sites this week.
Yeah, it was pretty much a no-brainer though. They bought Skype. No one uses Windows Live.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a segue. Finally, in sort of website UI changes, Instagram now has web profiles. So kind of like your Twitter profile, your Facebook profile, but now you've got an Instagram profile on the web. You didn't have this before. The only way you could find a profile was on the app.
Yeah.
And they still haven't got
or
an
using
app
third-party services.
Or using third-party services, exactly. Yeah. But they finally got caught up and kind of have your own web profile now, which displays all your pictures and your likes, who you're following, who you're not. But it's got a very Facebooky motif. If you've seen it, you'll recognise the fact that.
Which is quite weird because I'm surprised you're telling me, because I use Instagram quite a lot.
In fact, I don't think I use Instagram quite rarely. I've been really accustomed.
Addictive.
I've been really accustomed to this new app called Typic, which I'll talk about later. So let me just quickly show you and Ryan the profile. But it's got a very Facebook-like web interface where it has like a cover photo, your profile picture.
Cover photos are a big thing lately.
Of course they are. Yeah, no, I mean Twitter got one as well. So. That's a terrible website to do it on because it doesn't show it properly. So that's actually your Instagram profile.
Oh wow!
So it's got the photos at the bottom in squares, and then you've got like a grid. You can actually choose which photos you want.
And that person like mine is just all food and drink. And I do try to avoid it. I tend to post more kind of arty shots of gadgets and that sort of thing. Yeah,
I mean, Instagram's huge, just huge, and I think you'll agree that I think it's finally time for a web profile.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Right, so now it's my turn to show off something in my pocket, and I'm going to show off Typic. Funnily enough, the app. I'm going to show you guys Typic, which is the app I was telling you that I've used to sort of replace my need for Instagram. Okay, so this is Typic. Now, Typic's a free app. You can download it at the App Store, obviously. And essentially, it's a really nice Instagram-esque app that has an extra feature to it. So it's really simple to use. First of all, you select the photo. So let's take a photo of let's take a photo of what we see. Just to keep with the recurring theme of pulling back the curtain. Okay, once you've done that, you can select a filter, just like on Instagram. Now, it doesn't have as many filters as Instagram, but it has some pretty standard ones. That's what I always liked about Instagram's just the filters. I didn't really like the social network aspect to it. Then you can add a caption, which is the main part. So let's say TEChBrits. Okay, and then you can change the font size, you can move it around. Now recently they updated the option to change the color of the font. So you can now change the color to black or white. You can add a frame, white or black. You can change the font, obviously. Let's see what would go quite well. I think that one's quite nice. Let's make that a bit bigger. Let's corner off the frames a bit.
Making us a new logo here.
Yeah. You can change the opacity of the text. Make that completely bold. Lens blur the background a bit, and there you go. Then you can immediately send that off to. You can save that onto your phone, send it as an email, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, or you can even put it to Instagram. So Instagram's not completely lost in the dark. You can just move that around and put it where you want. So there you go. There's our new logo, which you'll be seeing nowhere soon. And that is Typic. So yeah, as you know, it shows the text and everything.
It's beautiful. I know you first showed me that in London, and yeah, I could just tell instantly that's when I like that app.
Okay. Right, final story that we have in our show notes. Samsung and Apple. Who's bored of this story? But Apple kind of took the piss.
As if Samsung don't know, to be honest.
And I had to share this. If you haven't been watching, if you haven't sort of been following this, this is hilarious.
Shut myself off from it.
Okay,
I've even been debating setting a mute filter to anything Apple lawsuit on like Twitter or anything.
Let me just explain to you why this is so funny. So, Apple and Samsung were in a big dispute, and Apple basically tried to sue Samsung in saying that their patent, Samsung was stealing their patents, and that the Galaxy, the Galaxy Tab was too much like the iPad.
Yeah.
And everywhere in Europe, I think, except for
the apology thing.
Yeah, except for the UK, said, "You're right, you can have it. It's fine. Suit full, you win." In the UK, they went, "No, doesn't look anything like it. You got to apologise to Samsung now." I am paraphrasing everything, by the way. This isn't quite how lawyers speak.
I wish it were. It'd be so much simpler. It's like, bollocks, they call it. Write an apology. Do it now.
The UK court basically told Apple that they had to apologise publicly on the website and in physical publications.
What if I asked them to do a video for him? Just to go like, "I'm so sorry."
And so Apple did follow the rules. On their website, they put an apology up. But if you went to apple.com/UK, you couldn't find it. Because it was next to...
that I've refused to sign it. And he's gone.
It was next to the buttons at the bottom that says, "About Us," FAQ, use of cookies, Apple, Samsung. It's right at the bottom in the tiny blue print. And if you click on it, it came up with a 4-paragraph page of Apple suing Samsung, blah, 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 blah. But they added a few little things of their own, which were the suit was fine in Germany, essentially. It said, don't know why it didn't work in the UK. The suit was fine in Germany, And then at the bottom was, "But we would like to say we're sorry that the iPad is far more cooler than Samsung Galaxy." Which was actually what a judge said at one point, which I think is why they put it in. Anyway, so the UK court said, "No, we're not happy with that."
I think that's the first time I kind of agree with a UK court.
So we're not happy with that. Do it again. But this time you have to have it in size 11 font on the homepage, and don't be Starkey. So Apple did change it. They've got it in size 11 font at the very bottom of the page. Right? It's not in the little bit anymore. It is now in size 11 font, and the apology is not Starkey. It basically says the patent's not true. Essentially, Samsung doesn't infringe any patents, so all their product is fine. But Apple have modified their website so that the iPad mini advert, you have to scroll down. No matter what size your screen is, you have to scroll down. So the iPad mini advert expands so that you have to scroll down before you get to it.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is...
And
yeah, some respect for that.
I just love the fact that Apple really didn't want to apologise, so they did that. Anyway, I've got one more app to show you, Ryan, before we wrap up, which is Sumly. Now, Sumly is an app that I bumped into online, and the video for Sumly is amazing.
Yeah, I'd heard about this app months back. In fact, it was bought because it was one developer.
17-year-old boy.
Yeah, 17-year-old, and he got paid. I think it was in the millions in investment into this app by one investor somewhere in like Korea, I think it was.
Yeah, well, he's also now had endorsement from a man we might recognise from a TV show called QI in the UK. Stephen Fry is in this video.
Oh, yeah.
He's sat next to him, and basically he's talking about the thing, and he basically explains how it works in a very creative way. But anyway, I'm just going to show you the app now, and here we go. Yeah. So you basically see everything summed up, and what I love about it is it, like he says in the video, it does sum it up like a human.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful, and it's a wonderful interface as well.
Anyway, that's it this week, I think.
Yep, I think we're all done.
So, we're going to wrap up with the end?
That's what we usually do at the end.
Cool. So, of course, you can follow us on the internets, at TEChBrits on Twitter. We've got a Facebook page in case you didn't know, so that's facebook.com/TEChBrits, I think.
Yep. If you want to follow the hosts on Twitter, you can follow me at Gadget_Right.
Or me at George Lim, that's J's instead of GE's. Of course, don't forget to use our hashtag TEChBrits31 for next week. So if you have any stories that you want us to talk about in next week's show, please put them there.
Yep, so that's it for until next week. If you want to subscribe, then please do. And
it's always there. It's always there.
What finger you put up to me then?
The subscribe button is always there. If I've got this wrong, this is really embarrassing.
One of those. Might have saved it.
Anyway, until next time, guys. Ciao.